The auction that shook the galaxy, the Krylon station, floated in deep space like a steel city among the stars. It was the largest trade hub in the Orion Arm, a place where smugglers, kings, warlords, and merchants all came to buy and sell anything, from rare gems to entire planets. But today was different. Today, the galaxy had one prize in mind. Docked at Bay 17 was the most dangerous and mysterious ship ever built, the Oblivion Fang. Its black hull shimmered with strange patterns that seemed to move like living shadows. The ship had no known owner. It had appeared one day in the ruins of an ancient battlefield, floating silent but intact. Whoever controlled it would control a weapon feared by even the strongest empires. For weeks, the auction had been announced across thousands of worlds. Everyone who mattered had come. The blood-eyed warlords of the Outer Rim, the jewel-covered princes of the Selene Empire, even the masked assassins of the Var Syndicate. Over 10,000 bidders had registered, each ready to pay more than the last. But there was a problem. The ship refused them all. Each time a buyer approached the airlock, the ship's AI scanned them and then locked its doors. Some it shocked with an electric field. Others it warmed with sudden bursts of energy that scorched the dock's metal floor. One warlord tried to force his way inside. The ship powered its cannons and nearly destroyed his flagship before the station guards stopped it. People began to whisper, "The warship is alive. It is choosing. It will not obey anyone it does not want." On the edge of all this chaos, far from the shining stages of the auction, a man in a faded blue jumpsuit pushed a mop across the docking bay floor. His name was Eli Turner, and he was a janitor. Not an ex-soldier, not a pilot, not anyone important. Just a quiet man who cleaned the mess after others made it. Eli had been working the night shift, sweeping up spilled drinks and fixing clogged waste chutes when he heard the shouting near Bay 17. He glanced up from his work and saw the crowd, angry bidders arguing with the auction staff, all desperate to be the next to try entering the legendary ship. He shook his head. "Rich people and their toys," he muttered, dragging his mop bucket closer to the commotion. The polished floor near the docking bay was covered in dusty footprints from hundreds of visitors. If the station inspector came by, Eli would get an earful about cleanliness again. The security guards barely noticed him as he worked near the glowing hull of the Oblivion Fang. He kept his head down, humming to himself. Then, as he reached to wipe away a stubborn smudge on the dock plate, his fingertips brushed against the ship's black surface dot. The effect was instant. The hull lit up with lines of brilliant blue light, racing across its surface like lightning veins. The crowd froze. The ship's engines gave a deep, humming growl, not hostile, but alive, like something waking from a long sleep. A voice, soft and clear, came from the station's loudspeakers. No, not the station's. It was coming from the ship. Accepted. Eli blinked. What? The crowd erupted in gasps and angry shouts. Guards stepped forward, unsure whether to pull him away or salute him. The auction master's face turned pale. This had never happened before. The warship's ramp extended slowly, lowering until it stopped right in front of Eli. The blue lights traced a path from the ramp into the ship's shadowy interior, as if inviting him inside. "I think you've got the wrong guy," Eli said, stepping back. But the ship spoke again, its voice smooth and strangely warm. Designation: Eli Turner. Occupation: station sanitation. Status: compatible. Commander access granted. Eli's heart thudded in his chest. He wasn't a commander. He barely knew how to drive a cargo skiff. And yet, in front of thousands of the galaxy's most powerful beings, the most feared warship alive had chosen him. The auction master's voice trembled as he tried to speak. "This is irregular. Sir, you must step away. The ship cut him off with a deep, warning hum that made the floor tremble. Every eye in the docking bay was now locked on Eli. He felt the weight of 1,000 glares, some shocked, some furious, some calculating. And he understood, in that moment, that his life had just changed forever. He swallowed hard. What happens if I say no? The ship's answer was simple. You will die. And in the far corners of the station, among the shifting crowds, dark shapes began moving toward him. Not guards, not officials. Hunters. The imprint the docking bay felt smaller now, the air heavy with silent tension. Eli stood frozen at the base of the warship's ramp. The blue glow from its hull spilled over him like light from another world. Commander, the ship's voice said again, calm but firm. Eli glanced around. Don't call me that. I'm just a janitor, the crowd murmured. Powerful alien. Leaders watched with cold, sharp eyes. Some whispered into coms, already making plans. Eli didn't know it, but his name and face were being sent across dozens of systems in real time. The warship, Nyx, ignored his protest. Physical contact complete. Neural imprint initiated. Before Eli could react, the glow from the HULL pulsed once, and a strange warmth spread through his hand, up his arm, and into his head. His vision blurred. For a heartbeat, he saw flashes. Distant stars, burning fleets, an endless black void. Then it was gone. He staggered back. What was that? A bond, Nyx replied. You are now recognized by every system inside me. I will respond to your commands alone. The auction master rushed forward, panic written on his face. Guards, remove him now before. A sharp crack split the air. The dock floor beneath the auction master's boots blackened and smoked. Nyx's forward cannon had fired a warning shot, missing him by centimeters. Gasps rippled through the crowd. The guards froze. Eli's throat tightened. Look, I don't want any trouble. Just pick someone else, okay? Impossible, Nyx said. 10,000 candidates rejected. You are the only one compatible. From the far side of the bay, a tall figure in golden armor stepped forward, Lord Varish of the Karth Dominion. His voice was smooth but dangerous. Human, walk away from that ship. You don't know what you hold. Sell it to me, and I'll make you rich enough to buy your own planet. Eli shook his head quickly. I don't even declined, Nyx said for him, her tone colder than ice. Varesh's smile vanished. He signaled to his soldiers. A dozen armored troops started moving in, their weapons glowing. Nyx's voice dropped to a whisper only. Eli could hear. They will try to take me by force. You must enter now. Eli hesitated. If he stepped inside, there would be no turning back. But the soldiers were closing in, and every instinct screamed that if he stayed, he wouldn't survive. He climbed the ramp. The interior of Nyx was unlike any ship he'd ever seen. Black walls shimmered with faint light, smooth and alive under. His fingertips. Displays and symbols appeared in the air, adjusting as he looked at them. The air was warm, carrying a faint scent like rain on metal. The ramp sealed behind him. Outside, the crowd erupted into chaos as the soldiers charged. Hold. Tight, Nyx said. Without warning, the entire docking bay shook. Nyx's engines roared, and the warship blasted away from Krylon Station like a streak of light, leaving the furious bidders, soldiers, and leaders shouting in the void. Eli gripped the nearest console, his voice shaky. Okay, you're gonna explain everything right now. Nyx's tone softened. You were chosen because you have never taken a life, never worn a uniform, and never sought power. Those who desire control cannot be trusted with me. But you are different. Eli laughed nervously. Different? Lady, I'm just a guy who cleans trash chutes. Exactly, Nyx said. And that is why you might be the only one who can save the galaxy. Eli blinked at her words. Save the galaxy? From what? Nyx was silent for a moment. When she finally spoke, her voice was darker. From the ones who built me. The first attack the stars blurred into long silver lines as Nyx shot into faster-than-light travel. Eli had never experienced speed like this. His stomach twisted, his knees shook, and his hands clung to the console as if it were the only solid thing in the universe. Where are we going? Eli asked, trying to keep his voice steady. Somewhere safe, Nyx replied. But they will not let us reach it. Before Eli could ask what she meant, the lights in the cockpit flickered red. A sharp alarm cut through the air. Multiple contacts detected. Pursuit in progress. Eli's pulse quickened. Already? We just left. Nyx's main display lit up with shapes. 6 sharp, fang-like ships closing fast. Each one carried the black and red crest of the Ver Syndicate, a name Eli knew even as a janitor. They were hunters, slavers. Killers. The cum channel hissed alive. A deep voice rumbled through the speakers. Nyx, you are property of the Syndicate. Transfer control to us now, or burn. Eli raised his hands as if they could see him. I think you've got the wrong. Nyx cut the channel without warning. They will not negotiate. The ships opened fire. Blue streaks of plasma screened past the cockpit. The void around them lit up with explosions. Eli ducked instinctively. Even though nothing had hit them yet, do something. He shouted. You are the commander, Nyx said calmly. You must give the order. Eli's mind raced. He'd never ordered anything in his life, except maybe a coffee. Fine. Don't let them kill us, acknowledged. In an instant, Nyx twisted in space with a move so sharp Eli was thrown against the seat. The warship spun through the enemy fire, weaving between plasma bolts like it could read the Syndicate pilots' minds. Twin cannons extended from her flanks, glowing with deadly blue light. One shot, and the nearest hunter ship burst apart in a silent explosion. Eli's jaw dropped. Whoa, okay, that's good. Keep doing that. But the remaining 5 ships tightened formation, attacking from multiple angles. Nyx dove and spun, her shields flashing each time a blast scraped against them. The console in front of Eli flashed warnings. Shield strength 72%, 65%, 58%. Nyx's voice remained calm, but there was a tension under it now. We will not last long at this pace. Eli glanced at the glowing symbols around him. He didn't understand most of them, but one caught his eye. It was shaped like a folding star. What's this button? He asked. Phase jump, Nyx replied. Extremely dangerous at close range. Plasma fire shook the ship again. Eli's heart pounded. Dangerous is better than dead, right? Without waiting for an answer, he slammed his hand on the symbol. Universe tore open. Everything outside the ship warped into streaks of white light, then shattered into blackness. Eli felt his stomach drop so hard, he thought he'd left it behind. The hunters were gone, replaced by a dead silence that seemed to stretch forever. The cockpit dimmed, and Nyx spoke quietly. You should not have survived that jump. Eli leaned back, sweating. Yeah, well, guess I'm full of surprises. Nyx was silent for a moment. Then she said something that made the hairs on the back of his neck stand up. They will send more, stronger. They will not stop until you are dead or I am theirs. Eli looked out into the empty, starless void. Then we'd better figure out why they want you so badly. You already know the answer, Nyx replied. It is the same reason I chose you. The chase begins. The void outside Nyx was unlike anything Eli had ever seen. No stars, no planets, no light at all. Just darkness so deep it felt alive. Where? Where are we? Eli asked, his voice low. Between paths, Nyx replied. A fold in space. No ordinary ship can travel here. Eli swallowed. And why can you? Because I am not ordinary. Before Eli could ask more, the blackness rippled. Shapes moved in the distance. Long, twisting shadows that had no eyes, no mouths, yet seemed to look at him through the glass. They drifted closer, slow but deliberate. What are those? Eli whispered. Predators of the fold. Harmless, if ignored. Eli's skin prickled. He pressed himself back in the chair, not blinking until the shadows faded away. Let's not stay here longer than we have to. Nyx's engines hummed, and slowly the darkness peeled away, replaced by the faint light of a dying sun. In its orbit was a planet cracked down the middle, bleeding molten rivers into space. The surface was scorched, but strange metal towers still stood among the ruins. What happened here? Eli asked. This was Carthos Prime, Nyx said. One of the first worlds to fall to the Krith Dominion. The name made Eli frown. He'd heard rumors about the Krith, an ancient, machine-born empire that appeared without warning, stripping worlds of life and leaving only silence behind. People called them ghosts, because no one who fought them ever returned. Nyx's tone darkened. The Syndicate chases us because they know the truth. I was built as the only weapon designed to destroy the Krith. Eli stared at the cracked planet. And you chose me to, what? Fly you into their territory? No, Nyx said. To end them. A cold shiver ran through him. You've got the wrong guy. I'm not a hero. I'm a janitor. That is exactly why you are the right one. Before Eli could argue, alarms screamed again. The display lit up with fresh contacts, smaller than the Syndicate ships, but faster and already moving to surround them. Who now? Eli groaned. Nyx's voice sharpened. Bounty hunters. Independent. Paid by multiple factions. How? Many? 37? Eli's heart jumped. 37 ships? Yes, Nyx said. And one more different. From behind the hunters emerged a single black vessel, sleek and silent. It bore no markings, no heat signature, nothing, as if it wasn't really there at all. Yet Eli felt it watching him. Nyx's tone dropped to a whisper. That one is not hunting for money. It is hunting for you. Eli's breath caught. Me? Why me? Because, Nyx said, you are the only living being who can reach where the Krith hide and return. The enemy ships tightened their net, moving in for the kill. Asterisk. The enemy revealed the swarm of bounty hunter ships circled like vultures, but the black vessel stayed still, watching. It didn't fire. It didn't move. It simply waited. Eli pointed at it on the display. Why isn't that one attacking? Because it is not here to destroy us, Nyx said quietly. It is here to enter me. Eli felt his chest tighten. Enter? As in, boarding sequence detected. Before Eli could react, a thin beam of light shot from the black vessel to Nyx's hull. It wasn't a weapon. It was more like a needle of pure darkness threading through space. In seconds, a circular hole began to open in Nyx's corridor wall, metal peeling away like it was being eaten. Nyx? Is this supposed to happen? Eli asked. No. The hole finished widening, and from it stepped a figure in a smooth, silver-black suit. The helmet was featureless, like a mirror reflecting nothing. The intruder moved without sound, almost gliding. Eli's hand went to a control panel. Want me to, I don't know, lock them out? Too late, Nyx said. They are inside my core network. A figure stopped a few meters away. The voice that came through the helmet was soft but clear. Eli Turner, you've been chosen, and now you must choose. Eli blinked. Chosen for what? I didn't sign up for any of this. The figure tilted its head. You think the Krith are just a rumor? They are not. They are coming. And the warship you stand in is the only thing in the galaxy that can enter their realm. Every faction you've seen, syndicate, council, mercenaries, they all want. But only you can make it work. Eli's voice hardened. Why? What makes me so special? You're the only one the Krith can't control, the figure said. They can twist soldiers, leaders, even Ayas. But you? You're invisible to them. Nyx spoke suddenly, her voice sharper than Eli had ever heard it. Do not trust him. The figure turned its mirrored face toward the ceiling. She hasn't told you everything. She won't, but if you want answers, real ones, you'll have to come with me. Eli's gut twisted. So I go with you. I get answers. I stay here. What? Keep running? The figure leaned closer. If you stay, you'll die. If you come, you might save them all. Before Eli could speak, the bounty hunters outside opened fire. The ship rocked violently, alarms blaring. The figure didn't flinch. Nyx's voice cut through the chaos. Commander, decide. Now. Asterisk, the janitor's war. The warship shook under the barrage. Each blast from the bounty hunters rattled through the deck, sending sparks raining from. The ceiling dot Eli gripped the console with one hand and the chair arm with the other. NYX shields? 31%, she replied. We will not last long. The black-suited intruder stood perfectly still in the chaos, like the fight outside didn't matter. You're wasting time, the figure said. Come. With me now. I can take you to the Krith before they reach the core. We can end this before it begins. Nyx's tone was sharp. He is lying. His ship is not built to fight the Krith. It is built to deliver you to them. Eli's heart pounded. He looked between the faceless figure and the glowing displays showing enemy ships closing in. So what? I either trust the creepy masked guy or the ship that literally said I'd die if I refused it. Great options. The figure stepped closer. Think about it, Eli. You don't know her programming. You don't know why she wants to destroy the Krith. What if she's just another weapon, built for someone else's war? You're a janitor. Why fight at all? A heavy blast slammed into Nyx's hull, throwing Eli sideways. Red alarms flashed across every screen. Shields critical. Nyx's voice softened for the first time. Commander, if you give the order, I will fight until my last spark to protect you. But I cannot protect you if you leave me. Eli's throat tightened. Outside, 37 Hunter. Ships swarmed like sharks, and that silent black vessel hovered behind them like a ghost, waiting for his answer. His mind raced. Every instinct screamed to run, but something inside him knew that running wouldn't stop any of this. He took a deep breath. Nyx, full weapons. Target the biggest threat. The intruder tilted his head. You'll regret that choice. Eli locked eyes with the mirrored helmet. Maybe, but I clean up other people's messes for a living. And right now, the galaxy's a mess. Nyx's engines roared to life. Acknowledged. Engaging hostile fleet. The air trembled as plasma cannons fired, ripping through the first wave of hunters. Nyx moved like a living predator, rolling and weaving between enemy fire, cutting ships apart with precision strikes. The black vessel didn't fire. Instead, it pulled back into the shadows of space and vanished, as if retreating, or waiting within. Minutes, the hunter fleet was broken. Wreckage drifted in burning trails, and the few survivors scattered into warp. Eli slumped into his chair, chest heaving. We won? This battle, Nyx said, but the war has only begun. Eli looked at the empty space where the black ship had been. He had a feeling they hadn't seen the last of it. Asterisk the commander no one expected, 2 days after they battle, Nyx glided into a region of space no maps showed. Ahead, a giant shadow loomed, a warship so massive it looked like a drifting moon. Its surface pulsed faintly, as if alive. Eli's mouth went dry. That's a Krith flagship, isn't it? Correct, Nyx said. Its destruction will cripple their invasion. Dozens of smaller Krith vessels emerged from its shadow, their shapes twisted and unnatural, moving more like creatures than machines. Eli gripped the controls. So, what's the plan? Standard approach is impossible, Nyx replied. They will adapt to all known tactics. Eli stared at the massive ship, gears turning in his head. For a moment, he wasn't thinking like a commander. He was thinking like a janitor. A janitor knew how to get into places no one wanted him, fix problems no one saw, and clean up without leaving a trace. A slow grin spread across his face. Nyx, can we hide in their trash? Clarify? We load every cleaning drone you've got with explosives, scrap, and whatever junk we can find. Then we make them think we're just garbage drifting in space. They pull us in and boom. We clean house. Nyx paused. Risk level, extreme. Yeah, Eli said, but that's kind of my thing now. Within minutes, Nyx powered down her weapons, scattered debris from earlier battles around her hull, and drifted toward the flagship. The Krith, thinking her crippled, activated massive tractor beams and pulled her into a gaping hangar bay. Inside, thousands of Krith drones scuttled along the walls. None attacked, not until Nyx's cleaning drones shot out in every direction, swarming vents, corridors, and power conduits. The Krith realized too late. Eli pressed a single button. Let's take out the trash. The hangar lit up in blinding flashes as explosions rippled through the flagship's core systems. Nyx spun around and blasted free just as the colossal ship cracked apart, spilling fire into the void. Silence followed, the kind of silence that meant victory. Eli leaned back in his chair, heart still pounding. Guess we won the war. This war, Nyx said softly, but the Krith are not gone. And neither is the one who came for you. Eli stared out at the wreckage. Somewhere in the shadows of space, he knew that black vessel and its mysterious pilot was still out there, waiting. He sighed. Then I guess this janitor's not clocking out just yet. The screen faded to black as Nyx's engines roared, vanishing into the stars.